In an otherwise stagnant laptop space, ASUS managed to impress us with the Zenbook UX433F earlier this year thanks to a performance it managed to pack in its tiny form factor. To recap, our review of the UX433F, we had labeled it as the almost perfect ultrabook. Almost because while it has great looks, build, performance, display and keyboard, its touchpad and speakers as well as slow charging times and thermals left us with more to desire. Now we have its successor, the UX434, which builds on the UX443 strengths and tackles a poor touchpad experience in a different way. The UX434 has the same chassis, display, keyboard, port selection, upgradability and unlocking as the UX433, so you can check out a review of the UX433 for more details on those areas, and in this review we'll be concentrating only on the changes done by ASUS for the UX434. Let's start with the Screenpad itself. This is version 2.0 and it houses a 5.65-inch 18:9 2160 by 1080p 60Hz IPS LCD display which runs at 1000 by 500 pixels resolution at 50Hz by default in order to save battery. The screen is protected by a matte glass surface which makes gliding through the interface so much smoother even with the Screenpad mode off, and using it just as a trackpad is a great experience, and kudos to ASUS for fixing one of our biggest gripes with the last iteration. Coming back to Screenpad, it feels like a smartphone integrated into your trackpad, and you can use it to launch apps, pull down any active window to multitask, watch YouTube videos or listen to Spotify on it while working on the main screen. You can use it to switch between active apps or just as a numpad, and the possibilities are endless, and trust us when we say this that the interface is fairly smooth, really intuitive and hassle-free. Dropping active windows in it is as easy as dragging and dropping with a dedicated menu button on the Screenpad to push the window back to the main screen. You also have a toggle on the bottom left to use the active Screenpad like a trackpad without having to disable it. At the end of the day, it requires some getting used to, and depending on your use case, it may or may not help you to be more productive. We think that ASUS is on the right track and there's a lot of potential in this idea. Our review unit comes with an Intel Core i5-8265U processor coupled with a NVIDIA MX250 graphics card, 8GB LPDDR3 2133 memory, and a 512GB NVMe SSD storage supplied by Western Digital. Performance is decent for its size and will easily chew through light multitasking workloads, but don't expect it to be a primary rendering or gaming machine because we found heavy throttling when pushing the CPU to its limits. The system was only able to maintain a 2.3 GHz clock speed when all the cores were stressed. We ran our usual 10-run Cinebench R15 sustained multi-threaded test, and the UX434 throttled heavily, dropping from an initial score of 671 points to 546 points before stagnating at around 570 points, which points to a weak thermal pipe setup, but then again we see the same on most ultrabooks. We tried to undervolt with the Intel XTU, but for some reason it refused to install on our unit, so we don't have undervolted figures for you. We also ran Geekbench 4, and here are the scores for your reference. Coming to graphics performance, the MX250 is hardly anything to write home about. It could only average a 13 FPS score in Shadow of the Tomb Raider in-game benchmark at 1080p medium quality settings. Games like CSGO on the other hand can be played at 1080p resolution with all the graphics settings cranked down to medium and MSIA set to 2x. We averaged around 65 FPS with dips as low as 48 FPS. The laptop comes with an NVMe SSD pre-installed, and our unit came with the Western Digital SN520 SSD with a 512GB capacity and is a fairly fast SSD. Battery life on ultrabooks need to be stellar because they're meant to be used as portable multimedia or office hubs on the go. In this regard, the Zenbook 14 UX434 does not disappoint, as we managed to get a respectable 9 hours mixed usage with the screen brightness of both the display and the Screenpad set to 50% and both the screens running at 1080p 60Hz. Speakers on the UX434 were disappointing, as out of the box they sound muffled with not enough volume to make up for the placement on the laptop, and we hope that ASUS can address this in the next iteration, as otherwise for most audio consumption tasks you have to end up using headphones or external speakers. Apart from few ASUS apps and McAfee antivirus, the Windows installation of the Zenbook 14 was pretty clean, which is how most systems should come out of the box. The Zenbook 14 UX434 is one of those machines that we can easily recommend to someone looking for a lightweight, ultra-portable laptop for multimedia or office use. There's not much to critique about this device. It's a well-rounded package and can give the MacBook Air 2019 a run for its money. We can't wait to see how far ASUS can push Zenbook 14 series with upcoming Intel 10 Gen CPUs, because this is one of our favorite pieces of tech for 2019. Thanks for watching this video. Please do hit the subscribe button if you liked it. See you again in the next one.